Club presents episode 5 of the RUS GUTIN Experience here on Zoom. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for yourselves for being part of the show. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 5 of Philly Comedy Club Presents the RUS GUTIN Experience on Zoom. We have a great show for all two of you here tonight. My guest this week for Comedy Album of the Week is none other than the star of the chart-topping album Rage Against the Routine, Mr. Mike Feeney, and also one of my favorite comics to work with and know, and unfortunately, Mets fan, who you've seen on You Know What Dude, Access Live at Gotham, and his awesome podcast, Sweet Buddies, Mr. Chris SCOPO will be joining us for another edition of Say Hi to Your Mom For Me, where I check in with comics who are or have been quarantined with their parents. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you haven't joined us before, it's time to really quick go over the rules of the road for a great Zoom comedy experience. The first thing you need to do, if you haven't done already, is unmute that mute button. We want to hear your laughs and your claps and your sighs and your guffaws and maybe even your groans in disgust out of some of the things that some of us comics might say to you or about ourselves tonight. But also, to that point, number 2, if you feel the need to talk to the person in the room with you, your pet, or even your potted plant at some point, because let's face it, we've been in quarantine a long time, why don't you go ahead and hit that mute button? And also, number 3, to that point, if you feel the need or have to take a long piss or giant shit, please put up that block screen, hit the mute button, and do not take us with you to your lovely bathroom. I'm sure it has a lovely wallpaper and those little seashells that are little bars of soap that are so fucking adorable you don't even want to use them. I know I never have. But please mute us and block us when you have to move your bowels or whatever the fuck else. And also, lastly, sit up straight like you would at a comedy club. No animals, no children. It's adult entertainment. And enjoy yourselves tonight in quarantine with us on Zoom. Give it up for the rules of the road, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Now, also tonight, for our first segment, it's our favorite segment. It's our quarantine POPPA RUS bits of the week, our QUARAN-BITS. Now, I want to tell you guys, during the break, I got myself a PlayStation VR machine. I am a nut for video games, as I have mentioned many times on this show, and I was so excited to finally get virtual reality. I got the Iron Man VR bundle, but I will have you know that it is not only awesome and immersive, but about 5 minutes into having it, me and my son were already arguing over who had next on Iron Man VR, and my wife came downstairs and threatened to take it away from both of us, okay? Okay, I'm a grown-ass man, okay? No, I'm not, okay? But I couldn't believe it. But then it reminded me of what my mother used to do when I was a kid if I ever fought with my little brother or my cousins over the original Nintendo system, because this is what a badass my mother was. She would not take away the Nintendo system. She would take away the power cord to the Nintendo system, the actual power source. So you would still have to look at it and pine for it and reach out for it, you know what I mean? Like Celine Dion, you know what I mean? You were just longing for it. And of course, I mean, she's a fucking psycho. What kind of psycho does that? She should work for me. And of course, I was still scamming and scheming. So I would try to take the power cord from my boombox and go to plug it into it. But of course, I would then take that cord and give it to my little brother, Jonathan, and say, don't worry, Jonathan, this is perfectly safe. I have a plan. And he'd be like, yes, Russell, no problem. I absolutely trust you, you know. And then I would give him the cord, I would back up about 8 feet, all right? Because if anybody's getting electrocuted, it's Jonathan, okay? And I would, of course, wait for him to plug in the cord to the back of the Nintendo and electrocute himself like Doc Brown in Back to the Future, like, I'll fucking kill you, Russell. So I was very excited, of course, to experience that when I was a kid, now that my wife is threatening to take the VR machine away from us. Okay, I'm trying to welcome Mike in. Now, the other thing about my VR machine that you guys absolutely must know is that I have a few VR tips for you that they are not going to give you in the YouTube tutorial that your Papa Russ is going to give you real OG gamers out there in the world tonight, okay? Now, VR tip number 1 is when I play video games, your Papa Russ loves to have a little drinky poo, okay? I love to have a little drinky poo with everything, if I'm being honest. With sports, my cousin's bris, it's always tequila o'clock, if you ask me. But I love having a little drinky poo while I'm gaming. It's like a little reward. When you beat a level, you have a little sippy poo, and then you go on to the next level. But nobody told me that when you put on your VR helmet, you need to set yourself up with a straw, okay? Because I got the aim controller, the gun controller for the thing, and I'm blasting all these aliens on Farpoint. I beat the level. I go, oh, I'll have a little drinky poo. Clank! I look like a fucking idiot. Can you imagine if somebody said, clank? I look like RoboCop at happy hour. You know what I mean? I look like a stormtrooper at the Imperial Christmas party on the Doom Death Star. Clank, you fucking moron, okay? So get a straw for your sippy poo, drinky poo during your gaming. Now, VR tip number 2 and 3, and hopefully Mike is going to retry to join, okay, is VR is very immersive. And it can be very distracting how immersive it is, okay? So VR tip number 2 is, one of the first games that I got for my VR system was the remake of Lara Croft Tomb Raider, the anniversary edition. And they had a new VR element. And there I was as Lara Croft. And I had a bow and arrow and huge tits. And it was so amazing, you know, but also very distracting because, of course, you know, I put down the bow and arrow and I'm fondling my computer tatas, okay? All right, hashtag me Jew, hashtag believe all Russells, okay? And I defy any of you at home not to fondle your own computer boobas, okay? All right, if you are so lucky to be bestowed with a pair, because they're very distracting. And of course, I didn't pay any attention to the bow and arrow. That's what the game is about. So you can't let yourself get distracted by the immersion. So that leads me to VR tip number 3. My last VR tip for tonight is also you cannot get too caught up in the VR moment, okay? Because the other game I downloaded that first week was a boxing game called Creed Rise to Glory from the Rocky sequel Creed, okay? And I've already beaten the game, and for all of you keeping the score at home, I have already risen to glory, okay? I rose to glory, all right? But there I was, okay? I'm Michael B. Jordan. I looked down at my arms. They are fucking amazing. You couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, how long was I outside last night? This is amazing. All black forearms matter. But I look over my shoulder. I'm in my first big fight of the career mode. And there is old Rocky, old Sylvester Stallone. And obviously I'm a Philly OG. I named my son Rocky. And I also went to school for musical theater. So I'm a sensitive, effeminate little bitch, okay? And I start to tear up. You know, I'm like, oh my God. Hey, Rocky. I love you, Rocky. I need my son after you. I love you so much. But then, of course, I look back to my left, and the AI boxer is right over me, like, pow, bang, boom, rip, you know. I'm on the fucking mat. It's a first round knockout. Rocky is ashamed of me. I'm ashamed of myself. I can no longer go on in either reality. So that's my tips for you tonight. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, get a straw for your drinks. Don't get distracted by your digiboobs. And don't get too caught up in the moment when playing VR. Those are your quarantine bits of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I am hoping our guest is going to join us during this next section, but segment 2 of the RUS GUTIN experience every week is always me with my comedy album of the week, and this week is no exception. It has like the best title I've ever heard for a comedy album, which is Rage Against the Routine. So awesome. My God. So you just wish you had thought of it. So much of his material gives you that feeling, and you guys are going to love him. He's going to join us for an interview, hopefully, but now playing a clip from his album and one of my favorite bits of all time. Please welcome Mr. Me.
I'm a petty person, for sure. Always out for revenge. Revenge and spite, both of those, actually. Yeah, I was getting into an elevator recently with a stranger, which is, it's not a big deal. I do it all the time. It's like a hobby. And so I love a good elevator ride. I'm not claustrophobic. Even if it crashes, I'm already in a casket. This is beautiful. It's cost effective. And so I get in to the elevator with this stranger, right? And he stands on the side with the buttons. Very important job, okay? Then I get to the back of the elevator, and then he pushes his floor, and then doesn't ask me what floor I'm going to. These are the people we need to fucking catapult out of our society. I'm bringing back the human catapult. I don't know why we ever got rid of that, to be honest. That should be the only death penalty that we have. That is fun for the whole family, isn't it? You can bring your kids, they don't see what happens on the way down, Even the guy getting catapulted, I guarantee, has to have a second where he's like, this is pretty sweet! You're flying, So he doesn't ask me, so I just try to lean in and give him a hint. I go, oh, sorry about that. 6, please. I say the floor, and then this is what he does. Instead of pressing 6 for me, he looks at me, hears me say it, and then he just leaned his shoulders out of the way for me to get in there and do it. Like he fucking smooth criminaled backwards. Leaned back so that I had this little room in between things. So first off, I'm a nice guy. I don't even think about it. I'm like, all right, I'll just get in here. And then I went to press it, and I was like, what am I doing? I went like that and just pressed all the buttons. Fuck you, okay? That's it. We go to all the floors now. You're goddamn right. My day is done. This is my day. It's ruining yours because if you're on the side with the buttons, man, you are the elevator DJ for that ride. That's it. You got to take requests. When I do it, I'm killing it. I'm like, this next floor goes out to Monica, and they're counting. I'm making it's a show,
I think it's just us.
Just us? Is there no mic?
Now you're back.
Oh, I hear Mike. I hear you,
Mike.
Mike. Pal. Are you starting?
I hear you.
Do I have to let you into the video?
I'm in. You don't see me? I'm here, baby. Go to gallery
Oh,
mode.
there it is! Mr. Mike Feeney. I thought I fucked it up. Yes.
I've been here the whole time. I wish you would have told me. I would have came after you played my clip. The last thing I wanted to see is people. The last thing I wanted to see was people watching people listen to me do comedy. I feel bad enough for the people that have to watch, let alone listen. This is crazy.
Mike, I'm so sorry for this whole pandemic. It's all my fault, and so is Zoom comedy. I'm the reason it happened.
Oh, no.
Apologies. Now, Mike, I am so excited you're here tonight. I've gone on and on about how great of a comic I think you are. I think the title of your album, Rage Against the Routine, is probably the best comedy album title I have ever heard. The cover art is what I would call a pristine homage to East Empire, an album I wore out in my '86 Volkswagen Golf that I drove in high school.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's right, represent. So the first question I always like to ask other comedians about their comedy albums, because I don't think the audience at home always knows how long we work on things, is in terms of the material on the album, what would you say is the oldest bit and what is the newest bit on the album?
That is a great question. I would say, and by the way, hi, how are you? I hope you're doing well.
Hi.
Russ, I would say that there are some bits that are old. I think the oldest bit on it, I have a bit about my wife who gets nervous when she's home alone, so she like punches the shower curtain.
Yeah.
Which is just like that to me is probably one of the oldest bits. I do that right in the beginning of it. You know, it's a real fun ploy to get the audience on my side to be like, I'm a married guy, not just a white guy. You know, so
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
All married lives matter.
Yeah, exactly. So that's probably the oldest joke, and then the newest joke was actually there's a bit I do about Rockaway Beach and and this not having, which ironically works perfectly, about a guy not giving me any personal space in Rockaway Beach, and they're all because we're all on top of each other. And then another bit about jet skis and how they're not they suck. But I will say those two they just started clicking about like a month before the album.
Oh.
And they were just fun for me. I figured if I added old material, it'd be stuff that would be fun for me to do. So it was just.
Oh, you maniac! Though that's what I always say. That's reckless behavior when recording an album. I absolutely love it. I mean, it takes balls to take something that's, you know, to mix it in with something that has already been slow cooked. I just absolutely love it. And you know how much I love your material. I go on and on about it. I'm
Thanks,
sure you're
buddy.
tired of hearing me say it. Now, Mike, speaking of that, besides your awesome special on YouTube hitting 100,000 views last week, okay, that's absolutely ridiculous.
Awesome.
You also have the amazing podcast with Mike Cannon, Irish Goodbye. You have a small role in the movie that he's in on Amazon Prime, Timing. You also continuously appear in all these great sketches that comics are doing. The werewolf sketch that you and our guest later tonight, Chris, is in, or Brendan Sagalow's Delivery Boy sketch. You're like his nemesis. And you're appearing on other people's shows like you are so graciously doing for me tonight. So my question to you is, Mike, what the fuck is your problem, right? Why are you trying to make every other comic look so lazy? Were you not praised enough in your youth? Make me understand.
Well, for sure that, for sure that, but also like that was my favorite thing. That was 7 minutes of compliments followed by a what the fuck. I'll take that every single.
What the fuck?
But you're too kind, man. I don't know. I think I'm just trying to stay busy because I don't have a creative outlet now, so I need it to be. There's two different types of comedians. There's people who are addicted to comedy and being like creating things, and then there's those who are addicted to claps, which are the people who are like, I'm gonna do stand up.
I'm sitting right here, Mike. I can hear everything you're saying.
Yeah. So I think it's just I don't know, man. I like making stuff, and hopefully people enjoy it. And now it's been like forced retirement. It's been a little reprieve to not be able to do stand up, but it also at the same time feels good and lets you flex your other muscles, you know?
I do like that answer a lot, Mike, because I would say even before the pandemic, I was always impressed by how much friggin' content you were always putting out, and you have not let anybody down. I mean, your Instagram video back in the day of you catching a ball at Yankee Stadium is one of my absolute favorites. Now,
Boy, baby.
Speaking of forced retirement,
yes.
You have had a lot of free time, so the next two questions pertain to this. I have noticed during quarantine, like I talked about at the beginning of the show, I'm a huge gamer, but I'm more of a single player experience sort of guy, especially with the VR machine I just got. But then on Twitter, I saw you posting that you were playing Call of Duty Warfare with a lot of other comics. So, Mike, my question to you is, please spill the tea, name screen names. Who is the absolute best comic to play Call of Duty with, and who is the absolute worst? Be specific.
I mean, it's easy. I don't have to hold any punches back. I mean, I think the best is Shuli Egar or Brendan Sagalow. So Shuli Egar from the
Wow.
Howard Stern show and Brendan Sagalow are good. They're like good players. The worst would be Ian Fidance.
Oh, you're done.
And it's not
All the
even
smoke, Ian.
Ian's not. It's not that he's terrible at the game. It's that he's terrible at concentrating, and he's just his ADD is a
Call
nightmare.
of Duty requires a certain
Teamwork. You need some teamwork. You're like, hey, we're all running to this building, and he's like 400 meters away. Also, Louis J. Gomez is possibly the worst. He makes Ian look great.
no!
Yeah, it's like we'll all jump from
Puerto
a plane
Rican
together.
rattlesnake.
Yeah, he's a rattlesnake in that he'll just bite anyone near him, even his teammates. So he just his plan is to just jump out of the plane and start shooting. He wants to be Rambo, but you can't be Rambo. There's not a team of Rambo, you see. So it's only one Rambo.
Oh my God! I was so excited to hear the answer because my friends don't play with Ian anymore because on Destiny 2 I'd be like, which button? Where do I?
Oh, that's Ian. Yeah, that's what Ian does. Ian's logged about 100 hours into the game and still goes, how do I see where you guys are?
Yeah, I'm not good at teamwork games, but I'm very proficient at just like, single player. That is a fucking amazing answer. Thank you, Mike. I can't thank you enough. Now, Mike, along with the fact that I've said I think you are pound for pound one of the best comics I've worked with on either coast. I love your material. One of the things that I always look forward to working with you is because we always get to talk about sports, and especially baseball and football, I would say predominantly. So we've all been forced to go without sports, which is a huge part of all of our personalities these last few months. So I have two questions for you, which is one, what did you do to cope without sports during this time? And sub-question, how fucking amped on a scale from 1 to batshit excited are you for sports to finally be back, especially today with opening day of baseball?
Buddy, I'm batshit excited. Yesterday, unfortunately, Scopo is not really a baseball. He doesn't really pay attention to sports, so he doesn't know much about it. But I am such a big sports fan, New York sports fan too, unlike him. But I'm a big Yankee fan and a Knicks fan and a Rangers fan. So it was exciting to see the Yankees, win a game yesterday, come out of the gate swinging. You know what's weird? I usually get like, not even seasonal affective disorder, but like lack of baseball affective disorder by about December 2nd. And this year it's like, the Yankees.
December 2nd, said like.
Yeah, it's so far. It's so far away. And like the Yankees signed Garrett Cole on my birthday. So it was like the best birthday gift. I was so excited. But then once the pandemic hit, I forgot about baseball because we were all fighting for our lives, you see.
Right.
And so it kind of went faster than I expected it to be. And now it's July and I feel like we're just breathing, just taking our head up for oxygen. And now baseball is back for, however long. And it feels great. It feels great to just see, even if they're not playing in the stadiums, I'm still happy in general that they're playing at all. So I'm excited. Let's go.
Yeah,
Yankees.
while I am totally disagreed to people even trying to play sports right now, I am 100% about that online drunk shopping for gear life.
Hell yeah.
Now that the season
I like that. It's a good shirt.
Started again because and one, to your answer earlier, I believe Shuli has a travel video game system and a home video game system.
Mm-hmm.
So that speaks to that. I was so impressed whenever I saw that. But the thing about sports today I was so excited about was my wife agreed to me to buy one of those cardboard cutouts you can get at the stadium here in Philly. So you can actually buy a picture of yourself, and it's actually only $40. It's cheaper than
that's great.
the game. You don't go to Shake Shack. You don't get the shits. I think I'm a big fan of some of the changes from the virtual world to the new world. I only
there are benefits.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm a huge germaphobe. All right, lastly, Mike, and thank you again for doing this and joining me. I know I go on and on about how much I think you're the best, but that was it, actually. I'm sorry, I went past the notes. So, Mike, that's what I wanted to say. I'm sorry, I was reading the wrong thing. I want to thank you so much tonight for the show and joining me on some of these first early episodes of the RUS GUTIN experience that they had me.
What an experience it's been, huh, folks? I mean, Best night of our lives. I mean, look how comfortable we all are. You know, Chris
We are.
doesn't even know he's on camera. You know, look, Chris is getting ready now for his show. He angled the
And the
camera
game
down
face
and
on. That's right. That's right. No, but Mike, I really do think the world of you and your wife, your material, and your hustle. I can't wait to see what you do next. And thank you so much for all the content you provide for me. Everybody at home, which is my mother-in-law and my wife, go out and buy Rage Against the Routine.
Yeah.
Mr. Mike Feeney.
Check it out. Thank you. Pleasure. Good seeing you, Russ. Love you, buddy. I'll see you soon.
Love you, buddy.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, buddy.
Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was great. Mike is the best, and all of those video game answers was one of the things I was really looking forward to. So now we are here at one of my absolute favorite things in the whole world, something I was telling our guest tonight that I feel like could be a show unto itself, that my wife and I sort of cooked up here during the pandemic, and she came up with the best name for it. This is the segment where we check in with some of my favorite comics and friends who have happened to have found themselves either have or are, in this case tonight, have been quarantined with their parents in a little segment we like to call Say Hi to Your Mom For Me. Oh, graphics, pizza box looking thing of me. Oh, say hi to your mom for me. Okay, I could do that because my wife's Italian. All Italians matter. So, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us tonight is one of my favorite buddies that I've really gotten to know over the last, I would say, 6 years that I've moved back to the East Coast. We've done so many shows together at Gotham, Levity, Philly, AC, and of course, New York Comedy Club. You heard him and seen him on You Know What Dude with Robert Kelly. You've seen him on Access Live at Gotham. He had a podcast with two of my other favorite buddies, Mr. Alex Pavone and Michael Albanese, Sweet Buddies, when they lived together. I'm a huge fan of that. And unfortunately, though, he is a Mets fan, one of the worst qualities I think a human being can have in life, but 4-1, I think that's a pretty good ratio. Please welcome my buddy, Mr. Chris Scopo, on Say Hi to Your Mom.
Oh, Russ. Wow, it's about time you got some talent on this show.
That's
Holy
right.
shit. We had to deal with that hack. Oh, my God. That guy was horrible. I had to listen to his comedy. I don't watch his comedy when there's no pandemic. I had to listen to it now.
Compliments the whole time.
Just horrible. But if I don't get a lot of compliments from you, I'm going to be a little upset. I'm going to be pissed off because you did it. Like, Feeney's not that talented. Let's be honest. And you're making it. The guy puts out a video a week. A video a week isn't that much content. Okay, he's not Andrew Schultz.
Yeah, no, you're right. Andrew's going into the fray. Mike's just doing cocktail classes this summer.
I mean, Jesus.
He's playing to the crowd.
He is texting me right now. That's hilarious. He knows I'm trashing him.
Well, listen,
buddy, I gotta. At the end of this, Russ, I got a surprise for you, which you're gonna love.
Oh, I love surprises as long as I'm not actually in the space. And
nah, you're not gonna be.
Yeah, as long as I'm physically distanced from the surprise, I fucking love it. Okay, yeah. Chris, I am so excited you agreed to do this tonight and did not email me back. Fuck you, Russ, you piece of shit. You've offended me to my core. Friendship over, okay? So, say hi to your mom for me. We have a little 5-question questionnaire that we do with comedians, kind of like James Lipton on Inside the Actors Studio. I know, I'm a lot like James Lipton. This is a very classy affair.
You got the same head.
Thank you so much. It is shaped like a cantaloupe, I've been told.
But you don't have the same tone. That guy speaks like he's a fucking snail, and you don't. You're like a rabbit, honestly.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I've been called a cartoon raccoon.
Yeah, you don't stop speaking.
Better. Thank you. Yeah. Let's see. This is what I'm. But with that highlight reel I talked about, any insults coming my way, you know that's going to make it to the top of the...
Also, I got to give a big F you to my cousin who bought tickets and is not even on this fucking Zoom right now.
Chris,
what a shitty cousin she is.
I just said to my wife tonight, let me tell you something. Any family member who's ever been like, "Oh, I gotta go see a show. We gotta go." You know, fuck you, assholes. You could watch me on the shitter with a virtual avatar of a llama. You motherfucker. I don't.
Told me she bought tickets, and Judy is not here right now. She is not enjoying this.
I'm not RSVPing to shit anymore. Okay.
No.
So, here we go. On Say Hi to Your Mom For Me, we have 5 questions that I sent to my comic friends that we ask about their quarantine with their parents. Chris, are you ready to play Say Hi to Your Mom For Me?
Oh, this is getting intense. Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's go. All right, Chris, for context, number 1, how, where, and with whom were you quarantined?
With, let's say I did a big journey to the other side of Queens, New York. It was about a 15-minute drive to my parents' house, where
Wow.
where they do have a dog, which is nice. So I played with the dog for a while.
Oh, that's nice. You can
I
work
did
stuff on them.
Yeah, I had a community driveway, which is nice, better than an apartment building.
Oh yeah.
So I lived there for the first month, I think, basically.
Wow.
I was there for I wanted to go for 3 days. Everyone thought the pandemic was going to be. My mom was like, just stay for the weekend, and I was like, yeah, sure. It's going to be over in 2 weeks. And then I was there for like 28 days or something like that.
Oh my God.
And I think I saw my dad naked one day, and I was like, I gotta go.
Oh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
And I forgot like how I forgot like how the walls were so thin. Like I heard my parents talking shit about me through the walls. They're like, he's not going home, Ralph. He lives here now. So
You're
I was like,
invited though you in. It's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like you come in unless they invited you in. You know?
I know. I was like, this is horse shit. And then the worst, they both had the coronavirus and survived, so I didn't get any inheritance, which is horse shit.
Are you for real?
Honestly, yeah, they were both fine. I was like, can at least one of you go so I can get the house? I'm not doing too well. I'm doing Zoom shows with Russ Gutin. Things aren't going well.
Everything's looking up for me. Everything's coming up SCOPO.
They told me they got corona, and I was like, fucking nice. All right, one of them's gonna go.
All right, get that cheddar, Chris. Now, 2. Funnily enough, Chris, as a comic quarantined with your parents during this time, how many alternate careers were suggested to you during quarantine?
Well, right now the federal government is paying me, so that's pretty good.
No,
big fan of old government money. I like it a lot right now. I'm trying to fucking learn how to do money markets. All I know is, yeah, I just heard of money markets, and I'm like, Dad, I got to put some money in some money markets. What are they? And he was like,
what are they?
I was like, what's a money market? What's going on here? Is this the fucking stock exchange? Is this like betting? Can I get a parlay going with the money market? and he was like, no, I'll take care of it. So no, they haven't really done any alternate things right now. That will start in about I'd say another 3 months when the government money stops.
No. Usama, of course, was told to go back to medical school.
Well, Osama's like brother's a doctor, and
right, and he was going to be a doctor. I found out, and then Benny was told to go work for FedEx. All right, okay.
Oh, I did go to a psychic. I did go to a psychic during this quarantine. Why not? Why not? Right? I'm alone. I'm 33 and single. I gotta fucking get something going on. And the psychic did say they did see a delivery driver in my future, so that's not good.
Well,
not good.
I feel like you're gonna give the customers a lot more than they can really get from.
Really thought this fucking comedy thing was gonna work out. I am not doing well.
I always called it recession proof. I never thought it would be not contagion proof. Okay.
Who thought doing jokes was not recession proof? Yeah.
Yeah. And I love the comics that are like, oh my God, but I just got to do my thing. I was like, hey guys, our dick jokes are not essential.
No, okay. we should
the guy at the Aldi is more essential than these dick jokes. Okay. So number 3, Chris, ready? Number 3, Chris, this is important. What does your mommy make for you when you're feeling sadsy-wadsy?
It's actually my dad, actually.
See, and we took out
Yeah.
daddy today, right, Dara? But it is, what does your mommy or daddy make for you when you're feeling sadsy-wadsy? Go on, Chris.
My mom will do my laundry and shit, and she'll fucking be like, "You don't fucking clean up after yourself." That's what she does. She's good with that shit. She goes, "You fucking live like a slob." And
while folding it, right?
You know what's funny about that? Like, I keep my apartment pretty clean, but when I'm home, I turn into a fucking pig. I'm like, someone's gonna clean it up. It's not gonna be me. It's not gonna be me at all. I'm not cleaning shit up. And I leave fucking cereal in my room for 3 days. That's what I did.
Cookie Crisp, yes.
Oh, I had at one point I had every day's leftover cereal in my room for like 4 days.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm 33. I gotta get my life in order. But no, my dad makes chicken cutlets. My dad makes chicken cutlets. He makes banging chicken cutlets. And if I'm really upset, if I'm like, if some whore hurt my feelings, my mom will make mashed potatoes. My mom will
mashed potatoes.
Yeah, she'll dominate mashed potatoes.
My daughter loves mashed potatoes. I couldn't believe I've never met a kid in my life, but like my daughter who just loves mashed potatoes. Now I know the way to Chris Scopo's heart, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, she'll pour them out and go, "You don't need these hooas, Christopher."
You don't need these hooas.
And then I'm like, "Oh, all right, Mom's got me some more mashed."
No, and you have the best bit about your mom being an Italian mom coming to see you do stand-up. How she would, I'm sorry to do your bit for you, but she stands behind people like, "Hey, maybe you laugh at my son a little bit."
Oh yeah. You have to do my bits because I don't remember any of them. So,
okay, good. No, I've heard that from a few comics, but I remember all your bits. I can't stop.
Russ, I'm gonna have you do my material the first show back, and then we're gonna.
No, I do the thing about Catholic school in your ass. I do all of it.
Let's do it.
Just in case shit, kid, all of it. Okay, number 4, Chris. On a scale from 1 to 10, how strange was it to have relations with yourself or somebody in your childhood bedroom?
Well, it wasn't myself.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. It wasn't with somebody. It wasn't with somebody. No, it was fine. It was nice. I did jerk off to younger. Nice. I did jerk off to younger photos of myself, which was good. You know.
No, you peaked.
But high school
early on.
High school Scopo was looking good. That kid was looking good.
Scopo had it going on.
Yeah, and then when I got real serious, I went to middle school Scopo, and I was like, this kid had bangs. He had bangs, and he had 2 dimples. The kid was crushing it. He was crushing it. He had no idea his life was going to turn out this bad.
So many sophomore cotillion offers. So many.
No, yeah. I never got that bad and went to baby Scopo. Never got that bad. So we didn't do that.
Yeah, no, you don't want to listen. But
I was not strictly.
You can never come back from that.
Strictly jerking off the photos of myself because I'm a narcissist.
No, and as all comedians should be at some level. All right, now Chris, you have really delivered all night long during Say Hi to Your Mom for me, and we're down to our last question. Okay. Number 5, what, if any, dark family secrets or incidents were revealed to you during this quarantine with your family?
My fucking mom, she blurted out that I was an accident. I swear to God, she goes,
I always suspected it.
It was my birthday because my birthday was my birthday was April 13th, and we were like right in the middle of quarantine, right? So then we were joking around, and then I think I was zooming with Pavone and his girlfriend.
Zooming with Pavone.
Yeah, and my mom was like, "Yeah, when I was pregnant with you, I was taking diet pills." And I was like, "Well, why the fuck were you taking diet pills when you were trying to get pregnant?" She's like, "What? No, I wasn't trying to get pregnant. You were an accident."
Oh my fucking God. And that's like a double whammy.
So my mom she was like, no, but she was like nervous when I was born because like back in the 80s, you didn't like see what kind of kid you were gonna have, and they just gave it to you. You know, it wasn't like, oh, he's tested, he's not
3D
slow. Yeah.
ultrasound, VR.
So she was like nervous as fuck when I came out. She thought I was gonna come out with like 4 toes or like 4 heads. She had no idea. She thought she fucked up my life. Neither did she know. 33 years later, she did. So
No, that's right. It was a slow burn. It was a slow cooked meal. I absolutely love it.
it
And
was
I
a
love
slow cooked
that you're
meal.
Swimming with Pavone. Side note, I have a video I'm going to send you and Alex tonight. I was searching VR recommendations, and I found a guy who is literally Alex Pavone, but doing video game video.
That's the best. I can't wait.
Cannot stop looking at it. It's like the sun. Oh my God. Alex should sue that motherfucker. So, ladies and gentlemen, I
gotta give you your surprise. Hold on
no,
one
that's
second.
what I'm saying. Chris Scopo has
Hold
a
on.
surprise for me. Oh, that's all a Scopo. And you, by the way, in the new world, you can do comedy in shorts. It went right up there. It was like,
Buddy, you know how much I despise the city of Philadelphia.
absolutely.
Everything about it. The whole
You've been
town is
very clear.
just garbage. The whole town is terrible. You guys eat horse shit for fucking protein. I don't know what you
I'll
do.
kill that motherfucker.
But you guys aren't good human beings. And my Pavone, who was my roommate, former roommate, his girlfriend's from Philly.
Right.
And for a surprise one year, she knows I hate the city of Philadelphia.
You really do.
She drew this for me. She's very talented, and I got to show you. It's hanging up in my room, and it disgusts me that I put it in my room.
Yeah, every day you have to look at it.
It's this.
Oh,
It's me with the Philly fanatic.
God.
Yeah.
It's you in the photo booth pose with the Philly fanatic as a Mets fan.
Yeah, it's horrible.
That is the worst. It feels like you are being waterboarded.
Every night.
Sutherland on season 2 of 24. Oh my God, that is best torturous.
Oh my God.
That is the most fuck you present. So let me get this
Is that the
straight.
fanatic's tongue?
Yeah. Oh no, it's a heart. It's a heart. It's a heart.
Oh, he loves you. The fanatic.
She knows how much I hate it, and she drew. She's not an artist at all, but she drew this by hand, and I was like, it was so good. I was like, it was so good. I have to put it up in my room.
Oh my God! And Olivia, her whole family is so funny. Oh, that is the absolute best. Oh my God, that is the best. That is like, I don't even know how to say what it is. I mean, you with the Philly fanatic. I mean,
it's torture. It's torture.
It's torture. I had a thing in my head and then I forgot it because I can't even understand the pain that must cause you. It is
not good.
The worst. I mean, it is like, I don't know.
I
being
brought
in a picture with AOC. I mean, I don't know.
I brought a girl back here one night who was a Met fan. We bonded over being Met fans, and she almost left because of this. And I had to tell her the whole story. I was like, nah, it's a joke. The whole joke thing.
It on the ground. And I can't believe that on your, that's what I was going to say. Chris, you're one of your best friends had his girlfriend draw you a picture to torture you for the rest of your life as a gift. And then on your birthday in quarantine, your mother admitted to being on diet pills and accidentally impregnated with you.
And it was 80s diet pills. That was straight heroin. It wasn't good shit. Okay?
Yeah, no, the FTC
they weren't censoring
was
censoring anything back in the 80s, all right? You could do whatever. It was like the fucking stock market. Anyone can buy and sell anything.
Bygone era. No, Chris,
not good.
What I want to know is what is it about you who is so giving with your time and your car, and you've driven all these comics to all these gigs. I'm sure your mother has fed them, your father has fed them. Why does everybody want to abuse you all the time?
I don't know. I got an abusable face. I got an abusable face. That's what it really is.
I, for one, Chris, choose never to abuse you.
Thanks,
and
buddy.
I want to thank you, even though you're a Mets fan, for coming on tonight and absolutely delivering the goods.
Thank you.
Say hi to your mom for me.
Thank you.
Thank
Anytime.
you for joining us, Chris, and thank you for being part of the show. I love you and I miss you, and I hope.
All right, buddy. I hope you're well. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy. Go Philly.
Take care.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our last segment of the evening. And it is one of my favorite segments. In the last few weeks, I've sort of kept it open as far as what the subject can be. But this week, we have tried to honor opening day of the Phillies today and the Sixers and the Flyers coming back next week as well to be a Philly sports themed APA Ask Papa Anything. So I now open up the gallery to my wife and mother-in-law who have joined us every week and in some ways don't have a lot of choice because we have to justify this happening. But each of you ask me a question about Philly sports and I have to answer.
What is your wife's favorite part of Bryce Harper?
Hard to say. Is it his voluptuous buttocks?
Yes.
Is it that middle scene of Teen Wolf transforming into Teen Wolf Quan?
No, it was his butt. You got it right the first time.
Oh, okay. Because I still had a few sections that I had marked off because your eyes were moving like somebody on a soap opera when they do the... You know, that thing they tell you to do in acting classes, but then you get into a real movie and they're like, if you ever do that again, you'll never work in this business. But right, Dara, I take that on film class and then I do it. And they were like, oh, by the way, never do that. And I'm like, hey, Dad, check this. We're owed some money from AMDA. So, yeah, absolutely. But if it is his butt, I accept that. But I was also willing to accept his Teen Wolf beard, his hair toss thing that he does. Also, his fucking thighs. Listen, I don't like to fixate on these things, but squat, wow. I am not a man. All right, Patty, you're up.
Baseball players really have the best bodies. I'm sorry, they do.
Oh, no, you made that mistake once, Patty. We won't get
In general, I'm saying, you know, they
yeah, no, because they have to use everything. They use
they've got, because I don't like,
all
I
the
was,
parts. Yeah.
baseball players all have nice legs.
Yeah, skinny legs are yuck.
Skinny legs, just, no. Chicken legs, I don't do the chicken legs. No, don't like
Pitcher or outfielder, they have to use every part of their body.
So, Russell, how did you convince your beautiful wife to let you buy a cardboard cutout
I would say that the number one thing is that it goes to charity. So
Okay.
it goes to charity. It's a write-off. But
Correct.
I would say the other thing, and this is, you know, sentimental, of course, is I am not a person who is always okay with being around crowds of people, even though I'm a stand-up comedian. But the thing that I try to do with each team every year is go to one game every year. But in particular, baseball has been, in my whole life, the thing that I have gone to the most. When I think of going to baseball games, I think of going with my grandpa Charlie to old New Yankee Stadium. I've been to a World Series game at old New Yankee Stadium, but I haven't been to new Yankee Stadium, but I've been to a World Series game. But when it comes to Philadelphia, I used to go to games all the time because the Phillies weren't very good. So you can get $10 tickets. I went with JCC camp every year. I went with youth group every year. I went with other people's parents who would have season tickets. So, and then when I think of your daughter, my wife, we had some of our best experiences going to Dodger games to see the Phillies, going to Citizens Bank Park here. And then I've also done like whole weekend trips with my boys to San Diego. But, and that's a long answer, But ever since
Do
Rocco,
you know any other kind?
yeah,
Gonna
no,
say,
I don't,
I
and
think
I refuse to.
Sorry, I just found a really great picture of Bryce
Oh my
Harper.
Oh yeah, no, that's
They look like.
that was the ESPN body issue. If you dig further into it, you will also get a glimpse at the Eagles' offensive line. And not that I like
I
him
saw that
as a
picture
man.
of the Urtzes as well.
No, the
God
Urchins,
damn.
and you could see Jason Kelsey and some of
Woo!
the Eagles' O-line. Whoa, hey, yeah, no, it's getting hot in her. So
All
please
right,
keep
that's
on it.
enough baseball
No,
talk.
my answer to you is, Patty, though, the thing though is that Rocco and I, pretty much since he was very little, every single year have gone to a Phillies game.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
And so right before the pandemic, and I mean right before, right there, about a week before, we said, you know what, by June, this thing will be over. So we still bought tickets for me and Rocco to go on the day of the Philly Fanatics' birthday, which is like the best family day at the stadium. So when I talked to Dara about it today, we were very pleased that it went to charity, but we also feel like we sort of owe it to Russell and Rocco to still make sure sometime during the summer, there we were at Citizens Bank Park.
Oh,
Good answer.
good answer.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dara, my mother-in-law, Patty, who I don't go to therapy about and won't.
I'm so happy to hear
I'm
that.
looking at you, my real mom. Thank you so much for coming and experiencing this week, episode 5 of Philly Comedy Club Presents the RUS GUTIN Experience here on Zoom. I want to thank my guest, Chris SCOPO, for delivering the goods on another edition of Say Hi to Your Mom for me. And I want to thank the star of the chart-topping album, Rage Against the Routine, Mr. Mike Feeney, for joining us and being just such an awesome dude, as always. Next week, I have a huge show for you guys. Not only do I have an awesome and really amongst us comics considered one of the best of the best of the best. His album, Marsalis, is an absolute hit. And we are going to have him here with us, Mr. Nico White. And on another edition of Say Hi to Your Mom for Me, one of our coolest guests yet. Not only has he written for SNL and Robert Smigel and Triumph the Insult Comic Dog, but he is the co-screenwriter on the new movie starring Pete Davidson, King of Staten Island. Joining us on Say Hi to Your Mom for Me is going to be Mr. Dave Cyrus, who I have known for almost 17 years. So I am really excited that he's going to stop by the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been your host, POPPA RUS GUTIN. Follow us online. We'll see you next week for the RUS GUTIN Experience. All right. And now we stop the